is the Big O Show. This 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 is...
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura RDX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Before Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated number 1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's number 1 volume Subaru retailer.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices. South Florida, listen carefully. Osmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Osmani Garcia delivers results. Osmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Where can you drive a new Acura ZDX for only $439 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, welcome aboard. Good afternoon, boys and girls. And yes, we told you we'd be here. It is Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7, right on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. I've got an elephant protecting me and everything here today, so it's good. It's kind of a jungle-like theme here this month at Toyota of Hollywood. As you know, we're always here the second Wednesday of every month. Just was talking with Herbie Lopez, the man that runs Toyota of Hollywood, and we actually were talking a little Bitcoin too at the same time. He's a big Bitcoin guy also. More and more, he's been in it for a while, but I run into more and more people that are becoming Bitcoiners now. They're finally kind of getting it, which is cool. As I've told you, I've done sports for 35 years now, and there's been a lot of gratifying moments and satisfying stuff. And obviously the best thing is making the connections with a lot of you that I have over the years. That to me is the precious part about it. But when now I lost my train of thought. Oh yes. And so out of all the things that I've done on the show, okay, the most satisfying thing is whoever I've been able to turn on to Bitcoin, that's been a blessing. That's it. Because everybody knows as you've held it over time, you're way up. So it's, and that's the cool thing. That is the most satisfying thing because that really changes your entire life. Me telling you the Dolphins are going to win or not, or we're celebrating a win or a championship or whatever, that comes and goes. But that could be very impactful for your family for generations to come. So for me, that's been the most satisfying thing. So it's pretty cool. And every time I get to run into somebody that actually really knows it and can talk it, like Herbie, it's cool. It's like we're in a non-secret club because it's not a secret, but it's something that very few of us know. So it's actually pretty cool. Anyway, got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We got the Panthers back in action on the road, taking on Maple Leafs. I'm looking forward to that. Cannot wait. Pumped. Feel good about the Panthers, especially the way they closed out that second game, shutting out and everything. I just love everything about what I'm seeing with the Panthers. It's just real, man. So it's good stuff. Inter Miami, I don't feel too good about, but that's at 10:30 tonight in San Jose. They didn't play too well in Vancouver. Out west late night. You're not staying up to watch it? Oh man, and they play Sunday too. They play twice this week. So they're actually, they have a game in hand as it is. So they actually need to get that extra game. They need all the help they can get now. They are no longer like the team that people fear anymore. So that's different.
Maybe they are taking a page from the Panthers. They're starting to coast a little bit. Yeah. Just get in there.
Yeah.
We don't need to win the, what is it? Is the, not the President's Cup is.
Whatever it's called.
Hockey,
the Shield.
Right? The Shield, the Supporter Shield.
Supporter Shield.
Yeah, they don't need to win that. We just need to get in the playoffs, then we'll win.
Yeah. I wish I had confidence in that too. You know what I'm saying? Pacers, dude, they finished off the Cavs last night. How does Mitchell miss those 3 free throws and then come back and hit the 3? What's up, baby? So that's crazy, right? I'm watching that game. I'm watching that ending, and it was Nick Anderson. You know how I tell you sometimes that I've done this so long that history repeats and all that, cycles and all that kind of stuff. It just what goes around comes. Yeah, you'll see a rare thing once in a while here or there. Yeah, and that's cool about sports. Nick Anderson. Will Donovan Mitchell be the same again? Dude, you hit those 3 free throws. You get the stop. You come down and hit the 3. I believe it's tied. And just a weird thing. And he played his ass off, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't efficient. He was 8 of 25, 4 of 13. Yeah, Bam numbers. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell and Bam. You know, but just keep an eye on Donovan Mitchell's career from this point on after those 3 free throws, because Nick Anderson was one hell of a player. And then he missed those free throws and he was never the same again. Crucial free throws. It was against Michael Jordan, right? No, it wasn't. It was in the finals. And they were facing. God, I forgot now. Against who was it?
He missed 4 consecutive free throws, which allowed the Houston Rockets to force overtime and win the game.
Retired playing baseball.
It said this event significantly impacted the game's outcome and is still widely discussed in NBA circles and on the Big O show.
There you go. That poor guy was never the same again after he missed those free throws. Some of you are too young. You don't know anything about that. But, those of us that have been around the block a couple of times, we have perspective. A very interesting word, and one you cannot cheat to get. The only way you get it is putting in time. It's the only way you get perspective, because you've seen it for a while, It'd be interesting what happens to Mitchell from here on out, because that was El Foldo right there, dude. That was bad.
That Magic team, boy, they didn't have good free throw shooters.
No. Shaq was terrible. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, yes, we did lose Tommy Vigorito. Yes, sir. Rest in peace. I heard about that. That kind of sucks. So, we'll see. I'll be watching the Timberwolves smacking sorry-ass Jimmy Butler tonight. Yeah, they'll finish them off tonight. They're up 3-1 in that one. So, yeah. I would imagine that's going to happen. Will the Knicks finish off the Celtics? I mean, no Tatum. By the way, I never heard. It was an Achilles?
He actually underwent the surgery yesterday.
For the Achilles?
He went right into the surgery, yes. It's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
successful surgery.
You know what?
I saw nothing about the injury, and then all of a sudden on ESPN said breaking news, Jason Tatum successful surgery.
When did it do that? Because I didn't even see it.
It was about 4, I would say, like
after the show. And by the way, while I'm preparing for the show this morning, I completely forgot about it. Didn't even register. So it was finally Achilles. Okay. Yeah, of course, dude. You can tell. Perspective. I've seen it 100 times. It's an Achilles. I know.
you know, when you've been at it for a while, you've seen quite a bit. It is what it is. But that's it's interesting. So we'll see. Pacers finish off the Cavs. Thunder beat the Nuggets 112-105. OKC now leads 3-2 in that best of 7. And so we'll see what happens tonight with the Knicks and the Celtics and the Warriors and the T-Wolves. And then a story that there is it's funny how the Dolphins and the Canes intertwine, and their stories are similar in a way, right? Because they've been massive underachievers for decades now. Canes for 2, Dolphins for 4. They're in a rut now where they need to find an identity and become a winner, right? And this offseason, we finally see the Dolphins truly put an emphasis on the offensive and defensive lines, adding more meat, like what we talked about throughout the offseason, right? Add more fat boys, and they did it. But, we'll see if McDaniel has the attitude of being a physical team and staying with the run. These are all things that we, and McDaniel's got to prove himself, correct? On the flip side, Jackson Cantwell agrees to a contract with the Miami Hurricanes, and he becomes, their latest contracted recruit, and he's awesome. They beat out Oregon, Ohio State, and Georgia for him. Okay, so the kid is super special. He's the number 1 recruit in the country, number 1 lineman in the country, and one of the things that you love about Cristobal and hate about McDaniel. Okay, McDaniel was supposedly, I think he was called a run game coordinator. Supposedly. But since he's here, he doesn't really dedicate to the run, especially when it's working and pounding the shit out of people. So he hasn't gotten that part, and he doesn't get the memo. And the Dolphins haven't gotten that memo for 40 years that you've got to dominate on the line and run the ball all the time, no matter who your quarterback is. It would have helped Marino. It could help Fiedler. It could help Tua. It could help any quarterback that you've ever had. You know what I'm saying? But I got to give credit to Mario Cristobal, because he's always understood that. And last year, his quarterback had half an hour to pass the ball because he had a mammoth offensive line in front of him, and he continues to recruit and go after, because that's how you're going to win. Now, again, they intertwine. So far, Mario Cristobal and Mike McDaniel have proven to be very mediocre game day coaches. Are we going to disagree on this? No, right? So it's just interesting how a lot of the dynamics, the pluses and the minuses, some pluses over here, some minuses over there. Mario has the tough guy approach. McDaniel has the soft ass approach where, everybody's forgiven. Mario's super hard ass where you're not going to necessarily be forgiven for shit. It's different. Yet again, he also had a very conservative streak in him. Last year, he allowed his offensive coordinator to be an offensive coordinator. Credit to him. But still, were his teams prepared? No. Were his teams ready for the bigger games? No. Did they come through? No. They still couldn't get to a playoff game. They still couldn't win the conference. They couldn't get to the conference game. They couldn't win a bowl game. Okay? So still disgraceful when it comes to the results. Considering the team that they had last year, Mario Cristobal is a complete failure. And that's where the tie between the Canes and the Dolphins is there. Both coaches are failures. They've had more talent to succeed and have more success, and they have failed. Last year, even with the injuries, Mike McDaniel should have won at least 11 games last year. Whether Tua was in the lineup or anybody else, the total of games, he should have won 3 more games than what he won. And I could argue he should have won 5. But he's not a really good coach, so that's kind of hard. But a really good coach possibly even wins 13 games with that team. Right? A really good coach changes the offense for Huntley. He doesn't wait till the 4th week of starting for Huntley that he starts to change the offense. No. From the get-go. You would have already had a separate playbook for him, and you didn't. Because he's a terrible coach. He had to run Tua's offense from the beginning, which he can't run Tua's offense. And that's pure stupidity by Mike McDaniel. Just like not kneeling against Georgia Tech is pure stupidity by Mario Cristobal. So it's awesome that they got Jackson Cantwell. It's awesome that they're going to have another offensive line that's going to be pretty damn good, just like they did last year. But you got to get the results. You got to get the results. You know? And that's where it's a celebration to get Jackson Cantwell. It's awesome to have a great offensive line. I'm super excited about it. Now I need Mario Cristobal to show me that he can win. Because that's where we're at with both football coaches in town. That's where their stories intertwine. That's where the comparisons are. And they're spot on. Both guys are questionable coaches. And both guys last year had talent to win more games and failed. So I love it. It's fantastic to get this kid. Apparently everybody wanted him. If you beat Georgia, Ohio State, and Oregon, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Because I'm sure they were all offering pretty much the same amount of money. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. So obviously Mario had a good relationship with the kid, and it's great, but that doesn't mean shit to me. Doesn't. Cam Ward should have been playing for higher stakes. Because of Mario Cristobal, he wasn't. We are here at Toyota of Hollywood, by the way, 1841 North State Road 7. That's a Tundra there? No, 4Runner? Right, yeah. Or a RAV4, it's not. It's definitely not. That 4Runner. And it's like this special package 4Runner. Yeah, the green, but it has some special package to it because it has another logo on it. Yeah, and it is nasty, dude. So whether you're looking for a 4Runner, whether you're looking for a Tundra, whether you're looking for a RAV4, a Prius, a Corolla, a Camry, I could just go on and on and on and talk about all the amazing vehicles here at Toyota of Hollywood. I drive a Camry right now. You know what I mean? I would never tell you to go buy or lease a vehicle somewhere where I wouldn't do it myself. Okay. And when it comes to Toyota, you know, it's one of the most reliable vehicles in the world. And right here, this is a super center. It's not a dealership. It's a super center. It's floor after floor after floor of cars, and you get a large selection. So come on out here, see Herbie, see all the great guys. They will take care of you at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7, right on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. And make sure you tell them that Big O sent you here at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. Let me, before I get to more football and basketball talk and all that, let me get baseball out of the way real quick because baseball is not a big topic ever anymore. But Rob Manfred did something really cool today or yesterday, whatever it was, last night, whatever. They lifted the lifetime ban for Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, and stuff. So now they are eligible to be placed into the Hall of Fame. Okay? Now, I'm not going to talk about Shoeless Joe Jackson because that was so long ago. But there's still anger with Pete Rose. And You have your right to be angry about it if you want. I live the era of Pete Rose. I admire, to me, you should play like Pete Rose played. That's baseball in my eyes. So I love the way Pete Rose played. Okay. But, the people that are insulted, like, okay, well, why are they allowing him to go into the hall now that he's dead? Well, if he wasn't such a defiant, belligerent, lying asshole for 20 years, okay, I know the man's dead, okay? And I'm sorry, but see, the problem with some of you out there is you don't hear the truth enough, and they're not telling you the truth, okay? And this is not being disrespectful. Pete Rose was an asshole. Pete Rose was a cheater, a liar. And he was defiant about it. Listen, you're going to make a mistake. This guy even makes mistakes. Like, believe it or not, okay? I'm going to make a ton of them. But the first thing you do, ladies and gentlemen, what do? We admit. We have some contrition. We say we're sorry. He never did that for 2 decades. He was defiant. He fought everybody. He called everybody every name possible that it was this and that, and it was proven. And there was more than enough proof that he was a liar. And he was a terrible human being on top of all of that. So because he was a liar, because he couldn't be trusted, because his word was dog shit, they kept him out of baseball. And that's it. And if, it's kind of like, I have some fun here on the show. Sometimes there's some of you out there that you want to get out of line. You want to be a smart ass, and you think that I'm just going to stand by it. I'm just, and you know what's going to happen, right? I'm going to be the bigger smart ass, the bigger dick, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Trust me, I'm going to get the last laugh every time. Okay? Every single time. Because usually the ones that are getting smart aren't very smart. You know what I'm saying? So the problem here is Pete Rose. Don't point the fingers at anybody else. Okay? Enough already. Call it for what it is. The dude was a shit human being. That's it. He was a shit human being. And tons of people will tell you about all kinds of terrible interactions with Pete Rose because he was a first-class jerk. But when he gets busted 40 years ago, whenever the hell it was, and he comes out and says, I did that. I'm so sorry. I love my team so much. I was betting on them. I'm wrong. And you just admit and fall on the sword. Brother, everybody forgives Charlie Hustle and we move on. But Charlie Hustle became Charlie Asshole. And this is what nobody wants to talk about. Why? Because he's dead. Sorry, dude. This isn't Mike McDaniel's world here that I'm living in. I'm going to tell you the truth. And if he wasn't such a defiant, freaking asshole, lying asshole, he would have gotten in a long time ago. And people would have forgiven him. But because of that, that's what actually the people that were alive then said, hell no, F you. Now everybody's dead. Giamatti, everybody's dead. Selig, everybody's dead. Anybody and everybody tied to this is dead. He's dead. Now we can move on. Put him in as a player. That way, his cancerous ass isn't somewhere doing a speech or somewhere else and taking shots at baseball. And baseball didn't want that. Why? Because he's a lying, can't trusted, defiant piece of shit. Do you want the truth or do you want the truth? What are we talking about here? We're talking about a terrible human being that happened to be maybe the greatest baseball player of all time. What a fucking terrible person, bro. That's all. And a liar and a cheat. That's it. I was listening to Dan Patrick. He had Johnny Bench on. And they had an interesting conversation. Patrick actually was using the bookie that Pete Rose was using. So it's a great story. So Dan Patrick knew the games that Pete was betting on for the Reds, and then the ones that he, just chose not to bet on the Reds. Because there were certain pitchers that day that, he wasn't betting against them. But there was the tip right there. And that's a detriment to baseball. And Pete Rose is a piece of shit that kept lying about it and kept lying about it and kept lying about it and kept being defiant about it and kept being defiant about it. And then they told him, oh, this is how you want to be? Okay, screw you. And that's it, dude. Pete Rose got what he deserved. Simple. He got what he deserved. And I don't know why so many of you have a problem with it. Now he gets in. He doesn't get the satisfaction of walking in there and seeing himself or celebrate it. Too bad. And that was his punishment for 20 years of being a lying, defiant piece of shit. Karma's a bitch, bro. Karma's a bitch. And if you want to be bad with people, man, it's going to come back to bite you constantly. So that's the brutal honesty of what went on with Pete Rose, whether you like it or not. Yes, sir.
No, I was going to say, and also he ended up costing himself tons of money just because when you're not baseball Hall of Famer Pete Rose going to
plus
whatever
you're
to
a
talk
pariah.
and things like that,
You're a pariah. You're a terrible person. Nobody wants you around.
Yeah, but I mean, people would book him just to have the
right,
and
it still wouldn't be a great event.
No,
because he was an ogre.
And he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. Come on,
dude. The guy ended up signing autographs in Vegas in a memorabilia shop there during the week because he was just, so that's how much of a pariah he was. Nobody wanted to be around the guy. He got what he deserved, dude. I don't know why people have a problem understanding that. Just because you're a great player doesn't give you the right to be a great asshole too. You know what I'm saying? And treat everybody like shit. And because you're a liar and you're a gambler, you're a cheat. And then you call everybody, it's Armstrong all over again. It's what is his first name again? Armstrong?
Lance
Armstrong.
I almost said Neil.
All over again, dude. Oh, but he did so much for yeah, he did, but it doesn't free you from the right that you were an asshole. You were trying to get people fired because you were a cheater and a liar. Ryan Braun.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. They caught you. You screwed up. Bro, mea culpa. Give it up. You screwed up. We all are going to screw up. We're all going to make mistakes. But, dude, admit it at least. Be sorry about it. Be apologetic about it. Show contrition that you really care that you hurt somebody or hurt people or hurt yourself or hurt the game or hurt your business or hurt whatever. Show something. He never did it. He got what he deserved. Okay? So now you put him in, and that's it. And that's all. And you move on.
I think it's what you use about, what is it, compartmentalizing?
Yeah.
You have to look at yes, you want the people to get their flowers while they're alive.
Yeah.
But you also have to look at the body of work of that person to say, okay.
Yeah, this is a bad human being.
Yeah. That's the problem. I think
a bad
everybody's
human being.
oh, another person can get the flower.
That's the guy that gets inducted into the hall, and then he goes on his speech, and he goes on a tirade. And then he goes on a tirade all over the place, and then he stays on a tirade and all that. And bro, you brought it all on yourself. Stop This is what we have in our. Actually, Pete fits perfectly in this society. Stay with a lie, and maybe it'll become the truth. And yeah, it will sooner or later. And then point and blame everybody else for your problem. Pete Rose fits in with this society perfectly, dude. Perfectly.
That's exactly what happened with the Ryan Braun thing. Right? Because after a while, everybody was on the delivery guy or whatever.
Lance and Ryan Braun tried to get people fired and call them liars for their cheating and their lying.
And everybody was going with it for a while.
All three scumbags are the same. Ryan Braun, Lance Armstrong, and Pete Rose, they're all three pieces of shit, dude. I mean, it's not that you made the mistake. You're human. We're all going to make mistakes. You're trying to get an edge or whatever it is you're trying to do. Understandable, but the line has to be drawn. I made a mistake. I am sorry. No, I didn't. No, you're wrong. You're lying. You should be fired. No. Pete Rose got what he deserved. Screw him, bro. How about that? Screw him. And that's it. Anyway. What do we got here? Anthony says, a hall pass with Selma Hayek this summer, SI swimsuit, or one more Dolphins Super Bowl. You know my instant answer. It's Selma Hayek all the way, bro. Sorry, Dolphins. Yes. That's my personal Super Bowl, bro. Salma Hayek or Halle Berry? Those are just don't ask me about those two ladies. Are you talking? Those are like two of God's, greatest creations. You could talk about the Sphinx. You could talk about the Niagara Falls. You could talk about whatever you want, bro. Okay? Volcanoes exploding in the bottom of the ocean, creating islands like Hawaii. You could talk about all of the amazing things that happen in the world, the sun, whatever. All the good Lord has created a lot of things. With Salma Hayek and Halle Berry. Yeah. That's all Miami Dolphins right there. That's perfection. 72-73, yeah. No, not 2025. Okay. So that's perfection, Anthony. Yeah, you did the wrong thing. You should have said, no, you can go back in time and see Led Zeppelin or the Dolphins Super Bowl. Okay, I'm going Dolphins Super Bowl. You can sit down, have a great conversation with Jimi Hendrix, and then have a personal concert for you or Dolphins Super Bowl. Dolphins Super Bowl. I'll give you $1 million or Dolphins Super Bowl. Dolphins Super Bowl. Seriously. Salma Hayek, Halle Berry for a summer. Do you understand that after that summer, doesn't matter what happens to me. It's over, bro. I've been to heaven. That's it. I've been to heaven. What is there left? Yeah, nah. Sorry, bro. Can't do that. Yeah. Check her out on Sports Illustrated. Oh, I follow her on IG, bro. And she posts all kinds of stuff on IG. It's her and Hallie are two fantastic follows. Fantastic follows. So remember, folks, you can make a donation to the show Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. You can also make a Solana and Chainlink donation, which I see I see Chainlink is in the news. My man Jeff on social media. I'm sorry, Todd Jones on social media sent me a post. Thank you, Todd. He says JP Morgan settles its first transaction on a public blockchain using Chainlink and Ondo to move tokenized treasuries beyond to private networks. JP Morgan, the banks that we told you that, yeah, I told you, right? And I'm sorry, anybody tell them about Ondo or Chainlink on a show somewhere? Interesting. Did you get Chainlink like all the way down to like $8, $9, $10? Because we told you about it. We told you about Ondo and it was 22 cents. It's just silly how it just all comes to fruition. By the way, if you need a great lawyer, Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, they are right down the street, actually. We're here in Hollywood. They're right down the block. Jeff Welt, monster Dolphins fan. He must be loving the Cantwell signing, too. He's a big Canes fan. Daniel Rayom, the guy's a stunt pilot. So when he walks into a courtroom, that's a joke, okay? And this big wuss, by the way, got in a plane with him, and he was doing some stunts, and it was dry heaving, bro. I didn't completely throw up, but I was dry heaving. It was bad. I'm a complete wuss. Some of us will admit things, like you screw up, you admit it. Would have helped you, Pete. Anyway, if you're dealing with bankruptcy, which sadly a lot of people are doing it right now, homeowner property damage, condo damage. Right now, we've got hurricane season starting up. Please save this number, because if you have damage to your home, your business, don't call the insurance companies. You call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They have their own adjusters. 954-966-4646. We just got a torrential downpour. What was it, yesterday, day before? I got one in my neighborhood. Yeah, day before. That causes water damage. You see any brown spots in your roof? You might have a leak. Call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They'll send somebody over, and they'll go after the insurance company and get you a new roof, man. You might be able to do that. So call them 954-966-4646 and get that roof before hurricane season. Condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, 954-966-4646. They are absolutely phenomenal. Welt and Rayom. All righty. Remember, we are set now. It is the Dolphins and the Commanders on November 16th. The date is set. We need your help to get there, to cover the game that week. As you all know, I'm not expecting this too much from this season, but this is the one big event that to go to and cover, because it's an international game, first game in Madrid. The Dolphins are doing it. So we want to do our show out there all week long at a Dolphins bar, which is the best part. I saw NorCal say something. What was it that I saw? He says, plan for fan club W25 has arrived. And then he puts hat game is everyone and most excited to go this season. I can't wait for Atlanta and fan club weekend. That was the best part of our trips. The traveling sucked. It sucked that we lost 3 of the 4 games, but it was all about meeting you guys. That was really, and that's for all you people out there like NorCal and Doll Freaky and Sports Babe 305 and Lou and all you folks out there that travel. It's really about the camaraderie. It's not the football. The football team leaves us, just commiserating and just getting together and just, wallowing in our sorrow. You know what I'm saying? But the best part is that, and so that's what I'm looking forward to, because I get to meet a bunch of international fans. We met some Mexican fans on one of our trips. So that was actually really, really cool. So help us if you can. There's the QR code. Any kind of donation you can make goes to our Spain fund. We appreciate it immensely. We'll be doing it from a Dolphins bar in Spain too. I know NorCal is setting me up with the Dolphin president over there. We're going to get him on shortly. Now that we've got everything set, and we're going to start making plans for it. So help us get there. There is the QR code. Make the donation, or you can make the donation like most everybody else does. They don't do it through the GoFundMe. Most people still send it through Venmo or PayPal, and they go, hey, look, this is for the trip, okay? And thank you all out there for doing that. Yes, sir.
I don't know if these leaks are accurate, but somebody in the NFL is drunk. That's all I'll say.
Why? What happened? What leak?
They send out everybody says the Dolphins and everything else.
Dolphins, Bills, Thursday night, 3:00, Thursday night football, week 3.
Week 4.
Oh, now week 4?
Jets, Monday night football.
Monday night football.
Week 9, Ravens, Thursday night football. Week 15, Monday night football against the Steelers.
Oh, they're putting a bad
Week
team
16,
on a
Cincinnati
lot of
Bengals on Sunday night. These are not it's leaks supposedly, but that sounds like a terrible schedule maker. And then you throw in the Madrid game.
If we were good,
that's 6 primetime games.
If we're good, I want to show us off. But
yeah, no.
If we're bad, I don't want to.
Maybe they know something we don't.
I hope so, man. God, I hope they prove us so wrong. It would be nice. The funny part is, oh my God, we're going to play them on a Thursday night. Does it really matter where you play Buffalo? Does it matter when you play Buffalo or where you play Buffalo? McDermott is 14-2. Out of 16 games against Sean McDermott, our beloved Dolphins have won 2. I love the reaction on social media. Oh my God. Oh, what a tough game. Oh my God, we're going to play them on Thursday night. It doesn't matter. We play them Thursday night, Sunday night, Saturday. We're 2-14, bro. I just found that to be funny as hell. By the way, the Dolphins were awarded defensive tackle Matthew Butler off waivers from the Raiders. Definitely. And on social media, some of you out there, man, you're just not very smart. So Jordan Poyer was on Good Morning Football, and he said last year was really tough year. Our team wasn't very good. So I threw it out there. I said, yeah, Jordan Poyer was terrible, mediocre. Only thing worse was McD's coaching. So then a couple of Dolphin fans, some of you out there, you're such emotional cripples. Go after. So what you're saying is Weaver sucks. And it's like, yeah, you could tell they don't listen to the show or anything. I love Weaver. I think he should be the coach, actually. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm trying to explain to him. Did you hear him? Did Poyer say that the defense was bad? He said we were a bad team. What do you think he means? Do you think he means Weaver? No, he means McDaniel. And these idiots are like, well, McDaniel doesn't coach Poyer. Why are you blaming McDaniel for? And I'm like, bro, he's blaming McDaniel. Jalen Ramsey's blaming McDaniel. They're not picking on Weaver. They're not picking on Chris Greer. They're picking on McDaniel. And like these idiots just didn't understand it. And I defined both. Yeah, Poyer's mediocre and whatever. But the only thing worse was McDaniel's coaching. Because it was terrible. It's just so weird, dude. Like, give me a break. Well, there's plenty of people that aren't here or that don't want to be here, and it's all because of your head coach. Not anything else. It's not any of the other coordinators. It's not any of the other coaches. It's not the front office. It's not the scouts. It's not the owner. They don't have a problem overall with anything else. It's the one guy and the environment the terrible environment that he's created. And that's what Jordan Poyer sucked. I'm not defending his sorry ass. But I also know what he's talking about when he's talking about that your team wasn't very good. He's right. And the reasons why, that guy. It wasn't because of Weaver. Weaver did the best he could with what he had. He was working miracles with what he had. I love what Weaver did. I can't stand what McDaniel did. Or a Crossman. Thank God they finally got rid of one. 1 out of 2, I guess, ain't bad, right? Vivinetti says, I don't like the short week against Buffalo just because those are the games Tua tends to get hurt in. Just get rid of the ball. Don't run. Don't take on contact, and Tua will be fine. If Tua wants to play stupid, then yeah, you're right. So, okay. Yes, sir.
I know you don't care about this, but I find it funny every time.
Okay.
The Canes curse struck again, by the way.
The Canes what?
Curse struck again.
The Canes
Jackson
curse?
Cantwell was the #1 recruit in the country.
Right.
As of yesterday, right?
Oh, and so is Cam?
No.
Oh, he was a #1.
He commits to
transfer.
Miami, right?
Uh-huh.
Now he's number 10 overall.
Oh. For real?
Yes, on 24/7. I know this stuff.
He went from the #1 recruit
Yes,
to the number 10 recruit.
After
so
committing
that way
to
it also
Miami.
hurts their overall ranking for the recruiting class too. What a bunch of assholes.
I know those rankings don't mean a whole lot.
No,
because you
but
gotta
I
perform on the
do
field.
I do believe on the negative tone for the Canes. That I do believe.
I find it funny though. Every time it seems like okay.
Yeah, no. That I believe that people hate the Canes and root against the Canes. Yes. Yes, that I believe. Yeah. Fans worried about when they play Buffalo, that's silly. Until you start beating them on a consistent basis, then we can bitch and complain about when the game is and all that. When we prove that we have equal footing, then we can do that. But for now, I'll use the Riley line. Start winning, and then you can start talking. If you're not winning, shut the hell up.
And also now he's the number 3
offensive
lineman because now 2 jumped ahead of him at 5 and 6.
Well, when you choose Miami, it knocks you down. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, too many medianoches.
So the Dolphins have not gotten anything yet. There's no schedule released yet.
No.
I'm going
It's
off
all-
of what is
it's all
the
rumored
supposed
bullshit.
leaks.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand how they could get
So
that
far,
many.
we haven't gotten a Dolphin leak from a Pelissero
Yes,
or
nothing's
a
come from
Schultz
anybody that's
or a
substance.
Something like that. Garofolo, like somebody like that. I should call Mike and get him on. The thing is, there's not much to talk about right now. It's just too off-season-ish right now. I'll wait till we're closer to the season. I love Garofolo. He's such a good dude.
Making the story out of, you saw the Mel Kiper story with Mario?
Yeah.
He didn't reach out to talk to Mario about Cam at all. He's the only one that didn't reach out to Mario to talk about Cam.
Oh,
Ward.
Kiper?
Yeah.
Oh, let me let you in on something. Kiper doesn't talk to a lot of people.
No, because everybody's trying to go toward his slant of the Shador Sanders thing.
Yeah.
And then
Kiper doesn't talk to a lot of NFL people.
See, I wouldn't know that, but
I know
that's
that.
the story that's out now. So it makes
I
trying
know
to,
that. When I was trailing NFL circles all the time for 20 years and all that, they would laugh about him. That guy knows nobody in the league, as they would say. That he wouldn't talk to any GMs in the league. He goes, I don't know who that guy talks to. Nobody talks to him. And I know several people in the league, like lots of people. They don't talk to Kiper. Okay. Now, I'll tell you this. Kiper could come from the Bushbaum era. Okay? Bushbaum didn't really call too many people. They ended up calling him because he had like this way of looking at football that was like next level, and he was really good at it. And so he didn't have to call a lot of people, but when he would call, they would pick up the phone. And so Bushbaum was pretty good on that, but he didn't do it with a lot of insight. He did it all with his own knowledge, and I think Kiper does a lot of that. I don't think Kiper, what I'm told is he's had an in with the Baltimore organization because he lives in that area. And so he's been there a lot. So people in Baltimore will talk to him, but from what I'm told, not a lot around the league at all. So that's Little something for you, so you'll know. What else? What else? They must use the Cowboys PR people. Odds on Tyreek Hill's kid burning down his house again. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Let's see what else. Just got off Dog Nation podcaster impugning Cantwell, a high schooler and future Olympian, but implying he's all about. Oh, who gives a shit, dude? Who gives a shit about fan crap? Fans, I guess. I don't give a shit what Georgia or Georgia fans are saying, or Oregon. Who gives a shit, dude? Dude, I need you to win, Mario Cristobal. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about what little fans in Georgia say if they're butthurt about it. Who gives a shit, man? Bro, that's the stuff you need for the shows that like to play the fan game. Those are the ones that, they need that kind of stuff to talk about. I'm not going to talk about that silliness, bro. Anyway, I did see the Cowboys versus KC on Thanksgiving Day. As I've said for many years, the Cowboys don't deserve to play on Thanksgiving Day. Okay? Detroit now has earned the right. They also didn't deserve to be on Thanksgiving Day. I think Thanksgiving Day should be given to the really good teams. Okay? And this is what I would do with them too. I would give them the bye week before that too. That way I assure myself great games. They're all super rested. The league is well represented on Thanksgiving. I put it up, but more than often we get a shitty Detroit team and a shitty Dallas team and a shitty whatever third team too. And it just doesn't.
It's even a shorter bye week because you start at 1 on Thursday,
right?
So you play Sunday or Saturday, whatever day
Sunday.
it's going to be. But
Sunday.
Then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday you're flying to Detroit or whatever. So what do you get a practice? One day of practice?
Stupid.
If that?
It's stupid. You know what I mean? It's really cheesy on behalf of the NFL, and you're not really forward thinking the whole process. That what I just told you makes all the sense in the world. Okay, let's set up some what we think are going to be elite games. Maybe you can flex them, 3 weeks out at the beginning of November, if just in case what you had scheduled, something happened, catastrophic injuries, whatever. Maybe you flex it out. Okay, and you may have to. Well, no, if there's a bye week, you can't do it. No, you can't do it. You have to just hope that they're good. Set up the good teams for Thursday, give them the bye week before, and then hope for the best because you can't adjust it. You can't adjust it because of the bye week, unfortunately. Because by the time you get there, some of those teams might have had already their bye week, and won't be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, that's what I have a problem with. That the Cowboys are getting all these, and let me tell you, like they're talking about the Dolphins. Why would you give the Dolphins all these prime time games? They suck.
You can get them when you're a decent team.
All they're going to do is embarrass themselves.
That whole situation's flipped itself, right? Because to me, the Cowboys would have earned it back in the day as far as the Thanksgiving game when the Lions didn't. And now the Lions are starting to deserve it and the Cowboys did. It's like almost flipped.
Right. Exactly. I wouldn't give it to the Cowboys. I wouldn't give them almost any, and I get it. Their fan base, their ratings, it's a draw. Everybody talks a lot of crap. But they build them up and then tear them down again. And that's what they do every year with the Cowboys. It's so sickening. It really is sickening. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donations, which we always love that.
What do we have on Bitcoin right now? 103,416, still hanging around that same area, 103, 104. Actually, the market is kind of calm on the crypto side. The Dow Jones is down 78 points. The S&P is barely up, just over 6 points. And the NASDAQ barely down. So no big deal. Kind of a meh day for the markets, put it that way. A meh. Not much. Big O song for you to check out when you get a chance. The Northern Pikes. She Ain't Pretty. Wow. The Northern Pikes. Okay, She Ain't Pretty. I got it written down, my brother. I will iTunes the bitch on the way home and check it out. Thank you. NorCal's been turning me on to a few new bands too lately. Jeff in Long Island says the Dolphins may suck, but we do have a Dolphins Nation for primetime games. Our Dolphins Nation is so good. God, our fans are the best, dude. I wish our team was half as good as our fans. I wish. I'd give anything for them to. Dude, what's and I'm blanking. The guy that's in charge of the Southern Cal, the dude with the glasses. What's his name? Such a nice guy, bro. If they had half the power of enthusiasm that guy has for, just now I'm forgetting his name because I can mention NorCal, I can mention some other ones that I can remember right off the bat. Forgetting this guy's name, and he's such a good dude. You know what I mean? The guys at Dolphin NYC. Our fan base is ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. And I get to meet these people. Big E is fighting for his life. Somehow or another, we're hoping that someone has a liver that will match Big E and save him. And this guy should be focused completely on his health and worried about it. And here he is, bro. Constantly tweeting about the Dolphins and loving his team and looking forward to the season. And I hope he can get healthy enough to get back to traveling like he normally would. Our prayers, too, to Big E out there, man. Just, it breaks me up when I see that story. And I see it on social media all the time. It's just crazy. We have just an amazing fan base. Our team doesn't deserve them, as I've said 1,000 times over. It's the best part about traveling. Best part about traveling is just meeting the fans. Outside of that, man, the team doesn't do us any favors. What are you going to do? I think the NFL should ban the Cowboys from playing on Thanksgiving. I agree. I can't disagree with you on that. What else do we want to talk about? Talked a little bit about the Cantwell's thing, Rose. We will have Michelle Kaufman, by the way, in 2 minutes at the top of the hour. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Did you hear about it? They're going to have ice cream on their menu. Gravy flavored ice cream. It's as bad as a Dairy Queen hot dog. Oh, it's disgusting. Gravy flavored ice cream? Oh, it's just all I can think. When you told me gravy flavored ice cream, all I can think of is the movie Fatso. Get the honey, Junior. Neil used to play that bit all the time. Get the honey, Junior. It's all I can think of. For you youngins, if you ever want to trip out and just see
fatness at its peakness, you got to watch the movie Fatso with Dom DeLuise. Okay, it's just, it's taken, us fat people to like the ultimate level of, okay, that's why he's fat. You got to check it out. I'm not telling you it's a great movie or anything. May have a couple funny moments. Maybe it still holds up for a couple of moments, not the movie. But yeah, just gravy flavored ice cream. I want no part of that whatsoever. None. By the way, let me do a little music here real quick while we're at it. Get that done real quickly here. Let's go with musicians born on this date, on the 14th. Dan Auerbach, vocalist with the Black Keys, born in 1979. Let's see. Natalia Appleton from the British girl group All Saints, born in 73. Danny Wood, New Kids on the Block, born in 71. Greg Kurstin, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist with Adele and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's pretty good, born in 69. Let's see. Fabrice Morvan, singer with the German duo Milli Vanilli, and the one that's still alive, born in 63. In 62, the singer for The Cult, Ian Astbury, was born. CeCe DeVille, lead guitarist with Poison, born in 62 on this date. Steve Hogarth, singer with Marillion, born in 56. David Byrne, same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. How about that? Born in 52. Talking Heads. That's funny that I did that and it's his birthday today. That is funny. Okay. What else do we have here? Jack Bruce, Cream, one of the greatest drummers of all freaking time. Born in 43. Bobby Darin, for you older folks out there, born in 36 on this date. That is musicians. Let's go with famous people, also born on this date. We start off with actor Richard Deacon, born in 1921. Yeah. Bobby Darin, I already mentioned him. Tony Perez, he is 83 today. Atanasio Perez, born in 42. George Lucas, filmmaker, born in 44. He's 81. Tim Roth, the actor, born in 61. He's 64. Danny Huston, actor, born in 62. He's 63. Mike Inez from Alice in Chains, born in 66. He's 59. Raphael Sadiq, Tony, born in 66. He's 59. Kate Blanchett, born in 69. She's 56. Sofia Coppola, born in 71. She's 54. Natalie Appleton, born in 73. She's 52. Amber Tamblyn, actor, born in 83. She's 42. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, Meta, whatever, born in 84. He's 41. Clay Matthews III, he's born in 86. He's 39. And Rob Gronkowski, born in 89. He's 36. Oh, and Miranda Cosgrove, born in 93. She's 32. What was that show she did? My daughter used to watch it all the time. iCarly. There we go. All right. Do you have any wrestlers born on this date, sir?
I do. Unfortunately, they normally go to will not open. Tennessee Lee was born on this date in 1951. Zack Ryder, better known as Matt Cardona now, was born on this date in 1985. Vader was born on this date in 1955. Sadly, he has passed away. And Dr. Death Steve Williams was born on this date in 1960. And sadly, we lost him as well. Those are your birthdays for May 14th, 2025.
All right. Inter Miami. Crucial game. These games now start getting big for Inter Miami because of the way things are going. Tonight they're on the road against San Jose, 10:30. How will they handle the West Coast trip? They didn't handle it well to Vancouver a couple of weeks ago. We will ask the one and only Michelle Kaufman. She's not there? Yeah, okay. There. You brought her up. Okay. I thought you were going to do I thought you were going to do a quick. I wasn't looking. I was going for the dramatic 15, 30-second break, and then we come back with the two screen. Okay. We adjust. Now we have Michelle Kaufman. Let's talk a little football. How are you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing well. I'm doing better than they're doing. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's funny, and it's strange and twisted. We've gone from thinking, okay, there's going to be a team that's going to dominate and going to win a cup for us, maybe two if they can or whatever. Now it's starting to look like Lionel Messi's country club, and they're now starting to look like they're old in this league. And it's the weirdest thing because this is a guy that's removed from, winning a championship for Argentina and beating the best in the world just less than 2 years ago. So it's not like all of a sudden he forgot how to play or anything, or the team or whatever. I don't know what is going on, but can you explain what is going on with this squad?
Well, if I could explain, I'd be very wealthy. If I could explain, I could be the coach of this team or the GM. Definitely there seems to be, a lack of chemistry on the field. You just see Lionel Messi looking frustrated, which he didn't last year. I don't know. He used to look like he was having so much fun celebrating when other guys scored and everything. And he seems a little bit grumpy, to be honest. He seems like a little bit grumpy lately. He's either grumpy with how some of his team, it seems like he only gets fired up and runs when it's his buddies, when it's his Barcelona buddies that are around him. He doesn't, for some reason, he doesn't seem to have the same trust, I will say, in maybe some of the new guys that they brought in. And, they made a big deal about these new guys that they brought in. Tadeo Allende, Talasco Segovia, Lujan, Toto Aviles, Wygant. These are all guys that Messi's little inner circle brought in. Chris Henderson is out. Chris Henderson was basically, he was not fired. He left, but Messi has his people that he trusts and that he's known for a long time. And those people have taken over the scouting department, and the people that they brought in, we were led to believe were all players that were getting a lot of interest in Europe and that are the next big thing. Alan Obando, they bring in this guy, 18 years old. We were led to believe that, I've never seen him play, led to believe that this kid is some phenom. He's 18 from Ecuador, and, he's going to come in, and the idea was that he was going to be Luis Suarez's backup, and that Luis Suarez needs some time off because he was playing 90 minutes every single game. Even when Messi was out, Suarez was playing. What
was wrong with Campana? That's what I don't understand at all, dude. Like Robert Taylor, these are people, especially Campana. He's a player for you, dude. Why would you get rid of that guy? That's the guy you need out there next to Messi and Suarez. He's the guy that can alleviate some of the scoring load. The only issue with Campana, as you and I have talked about in his past, was his injuries, and it looked like he had overcome that. I am.
Yeah, he's playing well, and he's in New England now. And he's had a fresh start over there. And then they just seem to be lacking. I don't know if it's leadership from other players. I mean, Sergio Busquets is supposed to be a great leader, but they definitely seem a little bit disjointed. They are they're getting beat in transition and on set pieces. You know, most of the goals that they're allowing are because so many players are playing forward. And you know that Messi is not running back. Suarez is not running back. So that's two, although Suarez was not in this last game. Now,
Right.
I will say for the Minnesota game, the Minnesota debacle of 4-1 up there, which is being mocked mercilessly. And, you know, they are gloating in Minnesota. Like Minnesota never gets any attention. I think they, you know, were tired of Inter Miami getting all the attention, and they went up there and Minnesota kicked their butts 4-1.
Yeah.
Even though if you look at the stat sheet, Miami had 73% possession. 73% of the time, Miami had the ball. 27% of the time, Minnesota had the ball, and they won 4-1. They created 5 chances. They scored 4. 2 of them were on set pieces. One was on an own goal by Wygant. And Miami, with 73% possession of the ball, got 1 goal from Messi. So they are possessing the ball and they are passing it around a lot, but they are not shooting and they are not creating chances. The
Yeah,
other
and
teams,
you know,
Minnesota played, yeah.
You've covered
Yeah,
this
go ahead.
enough. Possession is a stat that is so misleading at times in
Totally
soccer.
misleading.
Totally.
Yes.
It's just like you
You
can
can, well,
possess
just
it.
like in this game, if you possess 73% of the time, you're thinking, okay, this team is dominating the game. They had the ball at their feet 73% of the time. No, the other team had 27% possession and beats them 4-1. That just shows you how soccer is, you know. And it's just they're not creating opportunities. Now, Fafa was supposed to start this game. Mascherano said afterward that he had changed the lineup for this game. Fafa, as you saw in the previous game, the New York Red Bulls, he came out and scored right away, scored the first goal. I know, everybody loves Fafa. Fafa knows the league. He's fast. He just has a way of making big plays. He's really good on headers, even though he's not tall at all. He's basically like Messi's height. The guy can jump. He told us he can dunk, and people have seen him dunk. He played a lot of basketball as a kid.
Feisty, man. You
Yeah,
and I
he's really
covered him.
feisty.
You and I covered him from Miami FC. This guy has earned everything he has in his life and his career. This guy and
Yes.
and he has a knack to be around the.
He has a knack for making big plays. Yes, I'm writing a profile on him for your readers to know. Unfortunately, my interview with him got delayed because he ended up with migraines. What happened is with that Minnesota game, he was supposed to start, and the plan was for him to start in place of Luis Suarez. The morning of the game, I mean, he traveled to Minnesota. The morning of the game, he woke up with a massive migraine and could not get out of bed. He was in the hotel room the entire day, like in the dark with a migraine. And as of Monday, when we spoke to Mascherano, as of Monday, he was still exhibiting symptoms of the migraine, and he was questionable for the game tonight. So, but anyway, the idea was for Fafa to start, and then that got thrown out the window at the last minute. They had to improvise, they had to change things, but they have to. This game tonight is really critical for them, and it is not going to be easy. San Jose leads the league in scoring, leads the league 26 goals, leads the whole league in scoring. They have Christian Arango is tied for the league lead with 8 goals with Brian White of Vancouver. Then guess who else is on that team? Joseph Martinez. Remember Joseph Martinez from Inter Miami?
Yeah.
The guy has like 6 goals out there. And then they have Christian Espinosa, who is an Argentine number 10. He wears number 10. He is from Argentina. He grew up idolizing Messi. However, he told us a story because I did interviews with him and with Bruce Arena yesterday. Espinosa told an interesting story that when he was playing in Spain, in Alaves, I think was the team when he was playing in Spain, they played against Barcelona at Camp Nou. They played there and beat them 2-1. On the field for Barcelona was Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Alba, Mascherano. All 5 of them were playing for Barcelona, and this kid Christian Espinosa was on the winning side of that game. And he said yesterday that that was an unforgettable moment of his career to be playing against the players that he was watching on TV, and that his team that he was on upset that team at their home field. And he said, now I have the opportunity for the second time to play against those guys, again. And he said, he's hoping that once again, his team would come out victorious. But this game in San Jose, Bruce Arena's the coach. This man has experience. This man took USA to the farthest they've ever gone in a World Cup. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to devise a game plan.
And titles with DC United.
He won titles with DC United. He won titles with the NCAA. He won with the University of Virginia. The guy is a winner.
Yeah.
And his team has won 3 games in a row now. They're not at the top of the West, but they've been getting better and better. They've won 3 in a row. They lead the league in scoring. This is going to be a difficult game. It's sold out. As always, right now, the cheapest ticket you could get is $400 on the secondary market. Wow. This is a big deal in San Jose. So, this is going to be tough.
Let me ask you something. I'm not, and I get it. This is why I started the interview with this has become Messi's country club is what it is. It's like a novelty now. It's just like a retirement tour for Argentine fans in this country. I'm not impressed with the coach. I'm just not, Michelle. You tell me, what do you see from this?
They were doing better with Tata. I like Mascherano. I like him he's been great with us in the media. I will say even the toughest questions, he answers them. He seems transparent. He seems like a good guy. I think I never thought, and this is nothing against Mascherano, I'm just talking strictly now about Tata. I thought Tata did a great job. Tata had that team in first place. He had that team he knows the league. He has won the league. He had coached Barcelona. He had coached Argentine national team. He had coached in Mexico. He had coached in Paraguay. The man had experience. The man had gravitas. He had a certain amount of authority and gravitas, okay? And he had this team in first place all season, even when Messi was out. When Messi was out for 2.5 months and everyone thought they were going to fall apart. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Messi's injured. They stayed in first place. They lost and they set an MLS record. By the way, the team last year, many of these same players with Tata last year, many of these same players, they set the league record for points. No team had ever had that many points in a season. So they had a great season. They won the Supporters' Shield. They lost the series to Atlanta, okay? Brad Guzan played out of his mind. And to be honest, Messi and his friends did not play well in that series. They did not step up.
Well, Atlanta had our number last year. Atlanta had our number last year. We only won 1 game against Atlanta last year. That's it.
Yeah, Atlanta was just one of those things. But if you look at the overall season, they were on top of the table from beginning until the end. They won the Supporters' Shield. They went to the playoffs and, they did lay an egg in the first round and they lost. And Tata, he says he left for personal reasons. He is such a class guy. He will never say, we will never know. He will never, would never, ever say anything. It seems like he got squeezed out. Okay. So they bring in Mascherano, who's part of the Barcelona guys who played all together. He's 40 years old. He's 2 years older. He's their peer. He's Messi's peer. He's Suarez's peer. He's Busquets. He's Alba. So I just think maybe he has not earned the respect that a coach has to have of the players. He's basically almost like a player coach. I hate to say it. I really do like him, and I don't want to put him down. I know people are trashing him on social media and everything. I think he's
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan because Messi has turned this into a country club where it's just him and his friends. And dude, okay, if you're going to do that, you better win. And you had an embarrassing exit last year against the worst team in the playoffs, and you couldn't get past them. And now It looks like it's falling apart. You've lost a bunch of players that they've traded away that I think were better for your foundation than what you have now. And look, I'll add another thing that's gone on. You see what's going on in Portland? Maybe that coach was the guy you should have kept, because this guy is not a long-term guy. Tata's not a long-term guy, but if you would have locked in Neville, that you might have had a long-term coach here. And look, he goes to Portland, and he doesn't have Messi and company, and he's doing just fine in Portland. He's doing a damn good job over there. Give him credit.
He's right there. He's right there with, Vancouver is dominating the West. They look really good. And then Minnesota and Portland. Those are like the 3 top teams in the West.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in a way, I mean, I feel bad for Mascherano in a way, because he was brought here and he's in a really tough situation. And he has talked about, he mentioned something the other day in a press conference. Like I said, he's very, very open. He's a lot like Phil Neville in this way. He's very emotional and he's very open. Tata was very reserved, kept everything close to the vest. He never got too high. He never got too low. He never said anything, at all. I mean, he was very guarded and very just steady. This was Tata.
Yeah.
Phil, you see them on the sideline, the demeanor. Phil and Mascherano are much more similar in their demeanor. They're running around, they're, yelling and instructions and all this stuff. But one thing that Mascherano said the other day that did make my antenna go up, he was talking about, somebody asked him about the difference between being a player and a coach for him. Like, is Mascherano the player still there inside the heart of Mascherano the coach, or something like that was the question. And he said, look, Mascherano the player died the day I retired. It was a process I had to accept. He said, there's nothing like being a player, because when you're a player, the ball is at your feet and you are making the decisions. He said, I have learned in my short experience as a coach that it is not the same. You can advise, you can try to help, you can make plans. But he said, at the end of the day, and this is what caught my attention, he said the players influence each other more than a coach. And he said, you can make a plan, and if the players don't believe in it, this is what got my ding, ding, ding. He said, if you make a plan and the players don't believe in it, then you can't succeed as a coach. That the players he was basically saying the players run the locker room and the players run the team. To me, I was reading it as, look, as a coach, I can help, I can advise, I can make suggestions, try to help the young guys. He said, I can help develop the young players, okay? But he said, but at the end of the day, a player has much more influence on a teammate than a coach has. And he didn't say it, I'm saying this now. When one of those players is Lionel Messi, and the others are Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, and Jordi Alba, I think they wield a lot of influence over that team, which is why I think Tata's not there anymore, and which is why Mascherano, even though he was their teammate, if he's the coach now, how much authority does he have over those 4 guys? I don't know.
But you're right, and that's because they're friends. But I'll give you an example that we have experienced here recently. It was a few years back with the aforementioned Mr. Neville. He had a smoking-free forward that loved to, just hang out and play and was kind of coasting. And Neville went up to the legend and said, yo, bro, this is not going to fly like this. And he reached the legend, and he got the legend to play better the following season.
Higuain did. Yes, he did. He turned him around.
He turned him around. And in a way, at that moment, Neville was a coach. Like, hey, bro, you got to cut this shit out. And he did. And he cut the shit out, and he played better. And I don't think that this guy has that power. Does it?
Yeah, and you need to. I mean, the coach needs to have authority over the players. And even if, you've got these guys on the team, but if he has an idea of how he wants the team to play, or the players that he brought in thinks they can do X, Y, and Z, and Messi and his buddies don't think that, then there's a dispute there. Who's going to win that dispute? We all know,
Yeah.
you know, where's the cash? Where's the cash cow? That's Messi. I mean, Messi is this whole club, and this is the plus and the minus. They built this whole club right now is built around Messi on the field and off the field.
House
from
of
the
cards.
league,
Total
from the
house.
league and the team. So you've got the best player in the world, which is unbelievable. It was an incredible get. We gave it up to Jorge and Jose Mas and David Beckham. They somehow persuaded the 8-time player of the year and world champion, best player in history, basically, to come play at that little rinky-dink stadium over there on Commercial Boulevard. That was an incredible miracle, an absolute miracle that he came. And then that he brings 3 of his Barcelona buddies with him was another miracle. So you've got a really exciting thing in the summer of 2023. All these guys show up in the first month. MLS invents the Leagues Cup. MLS, they come up with this new tournament. Lo and behold, oh, look, Inter Miami, they win a trophy. Messi wins his first trophy. It looked all wonderful at that point. Then Messi had some injuries, this and that. Then last year happens where they were on top all season, even without Messi. Then he came back, and then they lost in the playoffs. Now we're in year 3. I will say this commentary. In the rest of the league, Messi is it's super exciting for the rest of the league that he's there. I will tell you that in San Jose last night, they showed video on the TV channels because I got some video of it. The TV channels in San Jose showed hundreds of people behind barricades outside the team hotel. And Messi was on a little balcony. You have to see it. Messi was on a little balcony. I put it on Twitter, waving. Leo. It was like Pope Leo. I swear. His name is Leo, too, by the way. He was waving like this on a little balcony to all of his worshipers below. Okay. The man it is a religion. It is a religion.
Now listen,
goes.
and that's what this has become, a Messi novelty tour, unfortunately. And we'll wrap it up with this. My problem right now is the Moss brothers. Actually, they need to take hold of this franchise. They have given it away to Messi, and I get it now that it's probably too late.
And now they have the stadium, and now look, they're trying to sell tickets for the stadium, for the brand new stadium, which is really coming up. If you've been by the Miami airport lately, that thing is up now. That is an actual stadium now. And the prices are high. I know because my husband just bought a season ticket for the new stadium. It is going to be beautiful. It really is going to be a beautiful stadium with all kinds of fancy lounges.
Yeah, but these owners.
This is all built on Messi. It's all built on Messi.
And they have to control themselves because now they have allowed the player to run the place. And once he leaves, the place just falls apart and it's done. And your fans are gone too because you didn't really establish local guys, a young guy that people can grow up with. It's just a hit and run. And now I've seen the best coach you've had so far has left in Neville. And the best general manager you had in Henderson is
Tata was good. Tata did a good job too.
Tata was good, but Neville's the guy you have for long term, not just now, but long term overall. You had the right coach that you could have built on. He was young enough that he could have been here for a while, like he can be in Portland if he has success. And I love Chris Henderson overall. Now you've lost those kind of pieces. You've traded away guys like Campana, who are better than anything you have right now behind the big four.
Yedlin, they traded away Yedlin. I liked Yedlin too.
Yeah, I love Yedlin. I like.
He was a fiery leader too.
I like Robert Taylor as a supporter coming off the bench too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I think there's a lot of bad moves being made by the owners. I love that they'll spend and they'll do whatever it takes to win, but that I don't know, overzealous approach, they're not really looking at the big picture and what it is. You know, like Panther fans they have been able to grow up with a Barkov. Now they're going to get hooked to a Kachuk and a Lundell and that kind of stuff. The Dolphins have done it with players that they've had around for a generation, and the Heat. This was Inter's chance to have Campana grow up with these guys and continue after they leave and build a name with the team. And I think that's another thing that they have failed. They have gone to go get the veterans, but they should have invested in a young guy that they can grow with the brand and a kid that's going to be a star, and do things like that.
I think they think Kromoski's going to be a star. I do think they think Kromoski. Noah Allen has turned out to be good, but he's a defender, so he's not going to be like he's not going to be a billboard name.
Right.
But,
that's like wasting Matuidi on one of your DPs. Come on, dude. I mean, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but he's a good player. I like him. I love Kromoski. There's a couple of young guys that I like, but man,
Ian Frey.
Yeah,
Yannick Bright. Yannick Bright.
Yannick
You got to throw him in. I love Yannick Bright. The guy is really good. The guy is really good.
Big time.
Yes.
Big time. But I just see too many bad decisions, and I wonder if that has set you back, as a franchise. And I wish.
Well, they have 10 players from Argentina. There are 10 players now on the roster from Argentina, and so that is what Mascherano and Messi's little inner circle. Those are the connections they have. Those are the players that they supposedly know the best, which is why they brought these guys in. But they need to deliver. Those guys need to deliver because I was told by some people very high up in this organization that this class of players that they brought in this year with this new management, the new scouting people after Chris left, that these guys are going to be, out of this world. I mean, I was really led to believe that fans should be very excited about these young signings, about Segovia and about Dario Allende and about Lujan and about all these guys.
Allende started off smoking hot.
He started off strong. He did.
Smoking hot, and then he completely cooled off after that. That was, but his first couple games were awesome. We're like, wow, who is this guy? That was actually.
Yeah, I think he scored in 4 games. I think he scored 4 goals, right away early between the preseason and regular season. So yeah, he's struggling a little. He said that he's struggling with his confidence right now, that he's trying to get it back. So
let's hope so.
We'll see. Big game against San Jose. They have San Jose tonight, and then they have Orlando
Sunday.
Purple people are showing up on Sunday.
Yeah,
big week. Very big week for them.
Follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports. Catch her work there at the Miami Herald and her podcast. Also, she does for Inter Miami. Make sure you subscribe to that and like it. Michelle, as always, thank you for taking the time. Say hi to Dave. We will catch up down the line.
All right. It's always fun to talk to you, Big O. Take care.
Thank you. There you go. The great Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald, Koff Sports. All right, Sean, let's get to music history. I almost was going to do that right before we got Michelle on, and then I'll get back to sports. Today on May 14th in music history, what happened? In 88, Atlantic Records' 40th anniversary celebration held at New York's Madison Square Garden saw surviving members of Led Zeppelin reunite with Jason Bonham on drums. In 08, Metallica kicked off a 26-date North American and European tour at LA's Winter Theater. In 76, Yardbirds singer Keith Ralph died at the age of 33 after getting electrocuted while tuning a guitar that was not properly grounded. The accident happened at his London home. In 2004, Coldplay singer Chris Martin became a proud father when his then-wife, Gwyneth Paltrow, gave birth to a baby girl named Apple. And in 2002, We Will Rock You, the musical, using songs of Queen, opened up in the West End of London. And that is what happened today in music history. Sean, give me 30 seconds, please. Really quick break, 30 seconds.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
All right, we are back. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Oh man, it'll be interesting to see if they can win tonight. Good thing is I'll get the hockey game in completely, and then I can watch the football game, and hopefully I don't suffer from that one. What else do we have? What I do for living, rule 1, whatever you sell, do it well. Don't have a million mediocre things on your menu. That's actually great advice. I agree with that. Brett Dodger, do you remember the Kentucky Fried Movie? My pants are in my ankles. Film at 11. I think it went like that, right? I think there was a line like that. The newscaster, right? Or I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11. Something like that, if I remember correctly. I remember the Kentucky Fried Movie. Yeah, I don't think it flies nowadays. I don't think the humor from Kentucky Fried Movie overall is going to fly. Yeah, that was it was a pretty blunt comedy, I would call it. But I remember that. Let's see what else. I remember too many things. I'll forget some stuff. I don't know why. Sometimes I'll forget some stuff, but then there are some times that I'll just like right there. Like Kentucky Fried Movie. Wow. Who the hell would tell me that they would bring up a Kentucky Fried Movie thing? And then I can answer a one-liner from it. That's even bigger, by the way. Big O, what happened to Rojas of Inter Miami? Oh, they sold him at the beginning of the year. Yeah, they sold him. Yes, sir. Unfortunately, that's how it went. What else do we have going on in the world? Anything new on the schedules? Anything break? What's Big E doing? He put out the whole schedule. Oh, from all the leaks. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so we will open up. And again,
nothing official.
Nothing official.
This is Big E.
I believe keeping up with all of
putting together from his what's it called? Like investigating the internet. Go ahead.
Yeah, so again, if something changes, week 1 at the Colts. Week 2 versus the Pats. Week 3, Thursday night against at the Bills. Week 4, Monday night against the Jets. Week 5, we're in Carolina. Week 6, the Chargers visit. Week 7, we go to Cleveland. Week 8, we go to Atlanta. Week 9, it's Thursday night football. The Rams visit us. Week 10, the Bills come and visit us. Week 11, Washington comes and visits us in Madrid. Week 12 will be the bye. Week 13, the Saints will visit us. Then we go on the road, week 14 at the Jets. Week 15 on the road at Pittsburgh for Monday Night Football. Week 16, the Bengals are here. The Bucks come week 17, and we end at New England on January 4th.
All right. There you go. Have no idea if it's accurate, but hey, man, you know, Big E playing the sleuth right now and trying to bring the whole schedule together. Either way, doesn't matter to me. I know the one I needed to know. November 16, okay, Madrid, it's Washington. Okay, we can start to see if we can make plans down the line here.
And again, I know because the Madrid game, it technically is a travel day, but we would have been home from October 30th till November 30th.
Wow.
Because we're home against the Ravens, home against the Bills, then it's Washington, a bye, and then we get the Saints at home. So the next road game we don't have a road game from October 26th. I know Madrid's technically a road game until we travel to take on the Jets December 7th. So
I like it. I like it. And Josh, you shouldn't trust Inter Miami. The amazing part is they have money. They'll spend. They just don't really, kind of know how to spend it. And they're very emotional, and they make decisions on a whim. Just they change their mind from one week to another. And you can see it by the way they run the organization. So
they kind of made a pact with the devil, right? In a way.
Yeah.
They sold the franchise.
Yeah, basically.
Because you got to make him happy. I mean,
You have no choice. You have no choice. You got drinks. You got all kinds of crap with his face on it. And you need to sell it because you're paying him a lot of money. And you need to make back money for the cash cow. Problem is, the Argentine fans are going to get on board because they love him anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But the local fans, if you're not winning, they won't give a shit, dude. They won't give a shit. So the novelty will end quickly in South Florida for Inter Miami. This is why, again, oh well, what are you going to do, man? It is what it is. All right, man. We thank Herbie Lopez and all the great people out here at Toyota of Hollywood making it nice and easy. The great Sean Stanley, he's such a stud. We appreciate all of you out there who tuned in. If you made a donation, visit our amazing sponsors. Please, like Caneswear, use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. Cutter's Edge Pro, if you're looking for landscaping, reach out to William Quigley and Company. They know how to get it done. Hialeah Park Casino will be there tomorrow. Use the QR code that you see there. You can get a $100 no-regret first bet. So you make your bet, you get your $100, and you're off and running. We got hockey. We got NBA playoffs going on. So a lot of things to gamble on. BigCheeseMiami.com if you want to eat some great food. Murias Dental. If your family is looking for a dentist you can trust the family of Murias. They got 2 great locations, Dade and Broward County. And we thank the folks at Murias Dental. We'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. Same time, same place, same bat channel.